What is going on, everybody? It's Sammy Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced World Wide Web, bringing you more community battle matchup. These are matches sent to me from the community, for everyone's enjoyment. Today we are playing on Celeste, a Global League map that was created by the mapmaker Pikachu DX. And today we have a Kindle mirror. Now, as we know, Kindle, very popular CO in the T3 range. We are seeing a day-to-day bonus of plus 40% firepower to all units on properties. In addition, her co-power, Urban Blight, will do global damage of 3 to anything sitting on a property. And her High Society co-power will give her 3% increase in damage per city owned. Normally, you don't see the super co-power popped unless it is a very, very high income match. However, it can still be very, very effective. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the players for this matchup. So first up, we have user 101 with an official rating of 935.76 and a win-loss ratio of 283 to 270 with 2 draws. Their favorite CO to play is Jake, and their maximum rating ever achieved on Advanced Wide Web was 1,113.54. Up next, fighting for Blue Moon, we have X-Rumbling CDSX with an official rating of 1,151, win-loss ratio of 338 wins, 287 losses, and 11 draws. Highest official rating on Advanced Wide Web is 1,197.65, and his favorite CO to use is Max. Alright, the combatants are set, so we are going to see exactly how this one plays out. First player is going to be Rumbling up here in the Blue Moon region, so let's go ahead and take a look into this and see what happens in this one. Day 1, we got our standard infantry builds. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary right there. We all know that we got to get those infantry on the field, and we got to get them out as quickly as possible, capping our properties. We have infantry moving over to capture the neutral base right away. Definitely step number 1 that you got to do on Celeste. You always got to make sure to get that base ASAP. Start pumping out additional units. Unit count is very, very, very important in Advanced Wide Web, so make sure to be pumping those units out as much as you can. Alright, now we see Rumbling CDX is officially sending some infantry forward. User 101 is sending some infantry forward as well, capping properties. We still only have infantry builds at the moment. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Now, it does look like Rumbling is now primed and ready to capture his airport. However, user 101 is also ready to capture the airport over here. Now, doing a little bit of fake, could capture this property, could capture this one right here. However, it does look like user 101 is primed and ready to capture this property right here. Now, if an engagement was to take place here, Kindle would be on a city, countering onto a road. So most likely that would be a even engagement if that engagement was to take place. Alright, airports are being captured. Infantry are spreading out, looking menacing as all heck over there in the Gray Sky region. Now, Rumbling going ahead, capping a bunch of his properties as well, and it looks like we are going to be taking that engagement. Like I said, it does look like it is a 6-6 engagement for sure. Now, that's only because of Kindle's massive 140% firepower boost on cities and the 0 defense terrain that you get from a road. Alright, we got a secondary engagement over here. It does look like an airport has been interrupted over here on Rumbling side here by user 101. And it is also backed up with a tank, so that is going to be very, very difficult for Rumbling to gain control of that airport now, unless he manages to get his tank in position in order to cover. We will see what happens here. Alright, secondary tank coming out from user 101. So we got lots and lots of stuff going on. Unfortunately, it does look like Rumbling has lost his infantry here due to a counterattack, but it was quickly avenged by the well-placed tank. Okay, it looks like we are taking an engagement over here on the airport. We are now sitting at 4-4. And unfortunately, the terrain, 40% defense from the mountain, Made that a very, 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 very even trade at 4-4 over there. Alright, 2 tanks are in position to assist the capture of the airport at this point. So it's going to be very, very sketchy to whether or not User 101 is going to be pushing in with this tank right here in order to take that out. But we shall see. Alright, looks like we're going to further attack it with the infantry, as well as finish off a capture on a bunch of properties. We do have our airport now from User 101, and we send out a battlecopter. Battlecopter has been built out of this property here. For those of you that have played Celeste, you know how powerful a battlecopter can be. Being able to just have high mobility anywhere on the map, forcing your opponent to build an anti-air unit as well. In addition, just cause general harassment. So it's a very, very effective unit. Neither players have actually captured the comm tower. We do see that User 101 is attempting to flip a property over here. However, it was interrupted by a Blue Moon infantry. So, I do not believe that that is going to be happening anytime soon. Alright, comm towers are being captured. Anti-airs are being built over by Rumbling over here on day 8. And we have an infantry taken out on the mountain, which leaves this tank very vulnerable to this tank's strike right here. However, we have a lot of backup. A lot of backup indeed. So it would be very, very difficult, to say the least, for that tank to actually succeed in this fight. Most likely you're going to be seeing a tactical retreat coming from that guy right there. Alrighty. So not even a tactical retreat, but a change of pace. So it looks like we are going to be sitting on the opponent's property, takes out an infantry, begins a capture on this city here, forcing Rumbling to make a decision to interrupt the infantry, which will leave the tank very vulnerable to a 140% strike from the city property. Very, very dangerous stuff indeed. One thing that you really want to do as Kindle is play around the cities as much as you possibly can, because that firepower bonus is intense. Just like camping, folks. Alrighty. Continuing on. Alright, a few more tanks. It looks like now this is definitely the tank show at the moment on day 9. We do have lots and lots of tanks. It does look like Rumbling is having a little bit of difficulty pushing out into the mid-range. The middle area, however, it does look like User 101 has spread his forces quite well and is very much dominating on his strong front over there on the eastern front. Alright, Cap has been... the infantry has been destroyed over here on this property. The Cap is thwarted and we are safe. We got 3 tanks in position right here. Very strong area, indeed. Now we have a 2 HP infantry Cap in this. We are still 3 days away from capturing the airport. Meanwhile, User 101 has their airport. So, we'll see what happens from here on out. Ooh. Very, very interesting here. Alright, we got an interrupt on the city, leaving the tank very vulnerable to a first strike. However, this is Rumbling's strong front. However, we have pushed most of our units over here on our weak front in order to repel this massive assault. So we're going to see what happens here. It does look like this tank is going to be vulnerable to a helicopter hit. So we're going to see how much damage that can possibly do, if indeed that is the route that they choose. Alright, 17,000 funds from User 101, popping up to 18 per day, and it looks like we take out the Cap on the airport and park a tank right on top of that airport. So we are definitely denying that airport today, folks. It does not look like Rumbling is going to be getting that airport at all. Alright. Okay, so we begin a cap on a neutral property right here. Not neutral, Rumbling's property right here. It is possible to interrupt this. However, it will take all the use of all 3 of the tanks in order to do so. Meanwhile, we are leaving our airport vulnerable. We're leaving this property here vulnerable. And the fact that User 101 has 3 tanks in position to do some damage, it might not be a great idea in order to go interrupt that, folks. But I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that that would not be a very smart idea. Most likely, we're going to have to just yield that property and allow user 101 to take it. Interesting placement right here, bringing the tank back from the city. Not quite sure what that is all about here. Maybe just not allowing a double strike from these two tanks. Most likely, I think that's probably what it was. Okay, carrying on, we are now sitting at day 10 of this very long matchup. So we're going to go ahead and continue on, see what happens here. All right, so we have moves from Rumbling, C, D, S, X. And what are we going to do? We move the artillery in position to actually cover this city. Very, very nice placement indeed. This is a heavily guarded area. I do not see anything really going to be getting past that artillery at the moment. It looks like we are going to do a couple attacks on lone infantries here, moving the anti-air in position to threaten this battlecopter, making the movements continue. It's a very good position as well because it actually covers the tank and covers your two infantry in the center from that battlecopter fire. So very, very effective coverage. Looks like we have a infantry being destroyed on that city. Very, very good. And we have a double hit on the tank. Unfortunately, was not able to secure the 2-hit KO. Now, I believe it is possible to get a 2-hit KO on a property like this. However, it is very, very luck dependent, folks. We're talking about max rolls the entire way. That's really the only way that's going to be going. Alrighty. So, very, very well diverse looking army here from Rumbling. Now it looks like we are pushing a little bit into the mid, and user 101 is actually looking like they might be lagging behind a little bit here. We are behind by quite a bit of funds now, almost 20,000. So we're going to need some kind of a massive counterattack right now to level the playing field. But we do have 26,000 funds, so we're going to see what happens with those 26,000 funds. We could possibly be seeing some heavy units come into the fray here. And oh my lordy poos, what do we got here? All right, first stealth fighter built on the semi-original guide channel from user 101. It looks like we do have that stealth coming out in the western front with no real counter to it. Wow. So very impressive build. However, I'm not sure how effective a stealth will be in this scenario. However, it does have no counters, so as long as you can keep that stealth alive, it is going to be causing damage. Now, in order to keep a stealth alive, you are going to need a few APCs out on the field in order to refuel that guy all the time, because keeping a stealth fighter in stealth will drain its fuel very, very quickly. So you got to make sure to build those APCs. Alright, so we do build the stealth, 2 infantry, and we unfortunately had the base skip in order to do that. So when you're pumping out a really heavy unit like this, a base skip can be justified for sure. Some people will say to never base skip. Now, it really just depends on the state of the map. Because if you need something in order to counter your opponent's push, something specific, you know, some heavy artillery, then a base skip might be justified. But it's very map dependent, very scenario dependent. It's just something that comes with experience, folks. So we'll see what will happen with this stealth fighter at the moment. Now, I will say that it is a fairly strong stealth fighter, considering that Rumbling CDS does not have access to the airport or have this bottom property right now. So we are lacking in funds, and the only thing that you can actually build to counter that while it's in stealth is a fighter. So if Rumbling cannot build a fighter, then he cannot destroy the stealth, and it will just continue to cause havoc everywhere it goes. Alrighty, so let's continue on. Let's see what Rumbling decides to do when faced against this great threat. Alright, we bring our units back. Absolutely justified. You don't want to be pushing your units up into a losing fight, especially with a big unit like that. So we bring it back, deathball it, build a few more heavy units, and we call it a day right there. Okay, very, very nice. Alright, now that user 101 has gotten a little bit of an advantage here when it comes to heavy firepower. He's going to be pushing up, capping cities. Very, very smart move here, attacking the infantry, denying this property cap. If you can deny that property cap, that stealth fighter is going to be increasingly more powerful every single turn it is on the field. Alright, so we are pushing in deep onto the weak front of rumbling CDSX. We have a city being captured. We do have our urban blight ready, however, we don't pop it. I believe that maybe he just doesn't think that we have enough value. However, if you can look at the state of the map, we have a tank here, an infantry here, infantry here. So let's just count this up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 9 units. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 10 units that could be injured by this urban blight. So interesting that we actually don't pop it, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so rumbling CDS's turn. We pop the urban blight. We are going to get some heavy damage going around. We mostly hit infantry for the most part. However, we do manage to get one tank injured over here. This was a fairly effective urban blight in my opinion, because we actually delay 4 captures because of that. So that is going to be 4,000 less funds that we have to deal with next turn. Alright. Very, very good. Alright, we are fighting. We are trying our best to get that airport. Get that counter to the stealth fighter. That's what we need. And now that we know where the stealth fighter is, it looks like we have revealed it over here with the infantry. We are going to be pushing up our wall a little bit. It looks as if there is only one real effective hit that we can do, and that is against this tank here. However, you want to be very, very careful with that. You don't want your stealth to be boxed in either. Because the important thing about the stealth is to keep it out, keep it free, keep it hitting things. Otherwise, it's just going to be a dead unit. Alright, so we decide to take out an infantry with it. Kind of questionable hit, in my opinion. Not quite sure why we would do that. I think we should have probably at least gone for a much heavier unit. Worst case scenario, we could have actually moved here and attacked this infantry right here, which is actually capping a city right now. So we didn't do that, which is questionable, but that is the route that user 101 has decided to go over there in gray sky. So we are going to roll with the punches, build a second stealth fighter. Second stealth fighter, folks. We have 2 on the field now. Things are looking dicey. How are we supposed to contend with 2 stealth fighters when we don't even have access to our airport? Oh my lord. Things are getting brutal. Interesting. Okay, so we decide to attack this 1 HP tank up here. We don't really have anything else truly effective that we can hit. So, fair play. Fair play indeed. Alright. Now, we are getting a lot of infantry very dangerously close to that HQ too. So, that is intimidating. That is something that you really don't want to be happening. Alright, it looks like Rumbling is going to be throwing units into the fray, interrupting captures that are happening, and doing its best to just get some map control here. Now, we do know that we have an APC built over here, so there is going to be no ground support over in the western front. We only have those 2 stealth fighters to contend with, and they can only hit 2 things every single turn. So, looks like Rumbling is going to be making a mad push. It looks like we are actually going over to that HQ now. User 101 fully charged right now with the super co-power, so very interesting what we're going to be seeing here. We're going to be getting 3% per city if we decide to pop the super co-power. So that is going to be equal to a 69% power increase. So is that what we're going to be seeing, a 69% power increase? Not quite yet. What are we doing? Okay, we have to stealth. We have to stealth the stealth fighter before we can actually hit. We don't want to leave it unstealth because we have a anti-air unit right here, primed and ready to go. Don't want to be leaving it unstealth. We are going to be popping the Urban Blight, doing a little bit of damage here, interrupting the cap on the airport. It looks like that's what we were waiting for the entire time, to guarantee your opponent does not get the airport. Now, are we going to back this up, double it up with a battlecopter hit? We're going to double it up with a tank hit. Can't quite get there yet unless we actually move this infantry, but we could move this infantry right here, take the shot, possibly KO this tank right here, and, you know, get some heavy damage, but we'll see. So we take it down to 5, and we attack the artillery. Oh, very nice. Okay, not too bad of a play. Now, we do actually manage to wall break it. Unfortunately, it does look like we are going to be losing this guy right here, the battlecopter, in response to that attack. However, we did manage to interrupt the cap. Our stealth fighters are safe from assault, and we just have a lot of damage going around the map right now. We are only sitting at day 13 right now, and we have a lot of stuff to deal with. Now, we got triple tanks coming out. We got an Urban Blight from Rumbling. Alright, that was a beautiful Urban Blight. We do see a lot of damage here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, plus this guy right here was actually hit as well because he's over a city. Now you can't see it, but he did get hit. Alright, get lots and lots and lots of hits. That is 5 units down in 1 turn right there. 5 clean, brutal hits. Okay, looks like Rumbling is getting incredibly close to the HQ right now. So, very, very sketchy stuff indeed. Probably one of the smart moves right now would be to actually forego any hits. Possibly even move the stealth fighter onto the HQ. However, you can't actually move it over here and take a shot in the meantime. That might be a great idea too. Either way, we got to get something over there by the HQ in order to defend ourselves. Okay, it looks like the stealth fighter has actually taken a hit, and we got a few nice little KOs here. But generally, not really too much going on this turn. Now, we did manage to cripple this pushover here from Rumbling CDS. It does look like the majority of our frontline forces are very, very injured. Still nothing to contend against those stealth fighters. So those are going to continue to just start picking off units left, right, and center. Okay, so move up, capturing more properties here from Rumbling. It does look like we most likely are going to be able to capture this property next turn. This is sitting at 2. Most likely we are going to be able to flip that as well, and that will put Rumbling in the lead when it comes to funds, at least. Temporarily, at the very least. So, ooh, and we're actually doing another threat on a city right here, forcing Rumbling to actually interrupt that. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. And Rumbling now sitting at 23 units, 103,000 value. To user 101, 17 units, and 90,000 value. Now, it is their turn, and they do have an Urban Blight ready, which they do pop. Hits the freshly built Neo tank down there on Rumbling CDX's side of the field. Unfortunately, that Neo tank was hit. It is going to be sitting at 9 HP next turn. Very, very expensive unit to be hit by Urban Blight, because that is going to be a 20% deduction on 22,000 funds next turn. Oh boy. Alright, let's see what happens now. So we go down and take a nice little shot at this tank here. A little 8-5 engagement. Very, very nice. Cap in the city. So that is a very threatening infantry to cap in the city. And we are getting super close. Both players are getting very close to the HQs. However, not sure if the user 101 is going to be able to capture that HQ or not. But we are getting very close indeed. And it does look like Rumbling may get another Urban Blight next turn. Over on day 15. We're not quite sure. It does not look like he's going to be able to get this property, though. Unless we join it. and we do something to take out this front line here. He doesn't have many units over here on the strong front, but what he does have is very threatening indeed. And it looks like this push over here on Rumbling strong front is pretty much going to be falling next turn. Not really too much he can do against two stealth fighters at the moment. Now, I believe his plan was to go up and get that HQ. Like I said, though, unfortunately, it just did not happen. Ooh, popping the Urban Blight. Like I said, I thought he might have been able to get the Urban Blight, in which he does, and we take a lot more damage here. Alright. It finally looks like we are going to be able to get that airport. We are still 2 days away from cabinet, so we are at least 2, 3, 4, 5, minimum of like 5, maybe 6 days away from actually getting a fighter over here to contend against those stealth fighters. In the meantime, most likely user 101, if Rumbling decides to build a fighter, will be able to build a fighter of their own, or at least stockpile some anti-air in order to do some damage there. Alright, we're sitting at day 16. Alright, day 16, and it looks like we got a cleanup of that front line going right here. Alright, we still have not captured several properties over here, which is very troublesome because we want to get those properties as quickly as possible. That would actually put user 101 at a... Ooh, that looks like if we actually manage to capture all 3 of those properties, that will be 26,000 funds per day. That is at least one more stuff every single day. Terrible, terrible stuff. You hate to see it, but you never have the opportunity to do it. So we all got to bask in the glory of the stealth fighter gameplay here. And we got a classic medium tank coming up from user 101. Very classy boy right there, over there in the gray sky region. Looking hot and powerful and ready. Alrighty. What else do we got here? It looks like we are going to be continuing on with an assault, doing a little bit more damage here. Rumbling is managing to push him back quite a bit. Looks like we're actually going to be doing a front switch and pushing most of our units over here onto the weak side. Considering the fact that user 101 actually took a massive hit to units over here on the weak front, not that bad of an idea to be switching those units over, indeed, especially with the threat of stealth fighters over here. Now, if user 101 was a sneaky fella, you know, it is possible to actually get these stealth fighters over here, possibly destroy a unit on one of the bases, and actually potentially base lock that area. So you want to be watching out for sneaky stuff like that. Base skips might be very dangerous to do in a map when this is your scenario. So, ooh, stealth fighter pushing over all the way to the eastern front, and we got a massive attack coming in from user 101. We got a nice little wall here. However, it does look like this wall might potentially take some damage here. I can easily see a wall break with the anti-air against 3 HP infantry and Neo-Tank coming in, definitely one-shotting that artillery. Tanks following up with a lot of hits indeed. And if the stealth fighter does decide to stay over here on this side, Rumbling is a smart man. He will build a fighter which will immediately threaten that stealth fighter. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, tanks are moving forward. We actually have a little bit of a retreat with some of our units here, keeping the anti-air out of position to be attacked by this stealth fighter. However, we do got these tanks right here, so I don't really believe that it's too out of the way. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one for sure. Ooh, an interesting turn of events over here is we have a little bit of a different route that actually went here. It looks like Rumbling has decided to attack the tank, follow it up with a fresh tank to take out the artillery, and get a nice little attack in there, keeping the Neo tank easily defended, except against the stealth fighter. That is the only thing that is still out there. So User 101 popping that urban blight, getting lots and lots of damage. I'm not. Oh wait, no, that was the battlecopter attacking that guy. All right, we're fine here, folks. We're fine. Battlecopter attacks a tank, doing quite a bit of damage. And what else do we got going on here? All right, just crippling the offensive down here too. Not really too much going on there. It does look like we are going to be flipping a couple properties here too. Now, that is another thing. If we can actually flip some of these Blue Moon properties, it's going to be very, very difficult for Rumbling to actually get that fighter on the field. However, it does look like he is anticipating that and has stockpiled quite a bit of cash in order to guarantee that we are going to be getting it. Alright, we do see the fighter. There it is. Fighter on the field now. We do have a counter to those stealths, and we have an Urban Blight popped. And wow, that is some big heavy hits on some big heavy boys right there. Okay, and we got units retreating right now. The stealth fighter is not going to be able to actually sit up here for much longer, so we aren't going to be seeing that doing too much harassing anymore. It is going to have to sit back pretty soon. Now, ooh, it looks like we are actually pushing forward now to threaten camps on some other cities. However, I don't really think that this city is necessarily the route to go. I think we have to get this city before thinking about getting this city. Most likely this city would be a guarantee capture. This one is still fairly contested. However, we're sitting 9 HP, so it is very debatable whether or not that would be possible. Okay. So do a little bit of a push here with these units. It does look like the fighter is going to be able to pop this guy no problem. We have no units in range to get to the stealth fighter. So the stealth fighter is completely safe where it is right now. Alright, Rumbling, what is the plan? What are we going to do? We are going to be doing damage is what we're going to be doing. Big hits right there. I do believe that maybe even a second fighter at this point might be justified. We do get a second Urban Blight here. Powerful stuff. We just see the units being just sapped. Sapped completely. Alright, guarding the HQ. Double hit with infantry onto a tank. Unfortunately, could not finish it off. We build a battlecopter instead of building a second fighter. Not that bad of an idea. The one thing that I can say is if you are fighting stealth fighters and your opponent only has one APC, you can definitely guess where the stealth fighter is going to be. Most likely by the APC somewhere. Alright. Well, yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to flip at least one blue property for sure. That is going to swing the tides of war over back in user 101's favor. Now, we still got an advantage on unit value. However, our unit count is starting to creep up to about the same. However, the Urban Blight does do quite a bit of damage here, leaving many units over on 1 HP. Now, we are pushed incredibly far into the territory, so unless we manage to capitalize on this, I can see some potential damage being happening, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Ooh, the stealth fighter just one square away. One square away from being able to finally hit that stealth fighter. Very close. Unfortunately, it was not in the cards today. Alright. Okay, so one thing that I can say here is potentially could have been a way to actually block this guy in. So if we're going to be moving over here, we could have actually potentially surrounded this unit with a couple units to guarantee that we'd be able to get it with the fighter next turn. However, maybe Rumbling has a different plan in order here. So with these guys, so we kind of switch it up a little bit and just build a wall. Looks like we're going for center control, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, so we're pushing out with the units that we do have. It looks like we're going to be getting a lot of repairs here. Probably no threat of an Urban Blight this turn, because we have so many Urban Blights that have already been popped that now it is going to be costing about 48,000 and 54,000 from each player respectively. All right, wow. So we dive in deep over here on Gray Sky into Blue Moon territory once again, blocking off the airport with an anti-air right here. Now, however, this anti-air is going to be able to be popped by that tank. Most likely, that would be a very smart move to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to be able to build more air units to contend with those pesky stealth fighters. Alright, so we got a retreat and a regroup. We got a fighter built, and that is about all for that turn. Now, things are looking very, very, very tight for rumbling right now. We do not have a lot of map control. We got a lot of injured units. However, those stealth fighters are just causing a lot of problems, folks. A lot of problems indeed. It looks like it's not going to deter rumbling at all. It looks like we're actually going to be pushing up into the... over by the HQ once again. Definitely threatening this area. 100%. And it looks like we're fighting back over here a little bit too. Alright, so not too bad. Ooh, wow. Would you look at that? Very interesting hit over here. So, gotta see that one more time. Instant replay. We go in, take a shot at the infantry, double the infantry, and then we attack the fighter with our injured stealth fighter. So we do manage to do quite a bit of damage to it. However, we get taken down to 2. Not sure if I agree with that one. Oh, you know what? If this was our plan, we could have actually did something a little different. Could have attacked it from here. And we could have actually double hit the fighter with both of our stealths, taking it down to 0. Park an infantry over here on this old airport and, you know, just go and grab a pint because it's pretty much GG from there. However, we don't do that. So maybe there are other plans afoot. So we're going to see what happens. So it looks like we continue to push forward. Neo Tank took heavy, heavy damage this turn as well. And we pop the end of the turn Urban Blight. Very odd Urban Blight. Alright, looks like the turn has been passed over. That's why we automatically had the heal up right afterwards. I was almost thinking the Urban Blight only did 1 damage. Alright. So we got another Urban Blight. Oh, that is the second Neo Tank of the entire game to be hit by an Urban Blight. Very, very sad. You hate to see it. And it looks like we go and actually discover the stealth fighter. Very, very interesting. 5 HP fighter goes and takes a big old hit on the stealth fighter. And now that stealth fighter is sitting at 6 HP, which is not a lot. Now, stealth fighters do have not extremely high amounts of firepower. So a 6 HP stealth fighter is not going to be doing a huge amount of damage. So after all this, it looks like we have finally taken stealth fighters at least mostly out of the competition. And, well, that's about it. Alright, so we do have the fighter over here backing it up too. So we're going to see what happens with that. It does look like it's user 101's turn once again. Pushing our infantry in, taking shots. We got an interrupt on a city. What else do we got going on? We take out a Neo Tank, take a big shot on an anti-air unit. And that guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still a threat. Still a threat indeed. It looks like he might be able to take a shot on this battlecopter. Potentially destroying it, but most likely taking it down to either 2 or 1. Alright, and that's pretty much about it. That's all that we do. And we're sitting at day 24, so this is a long one, folks. We're already on day 24, and this map is not even close to being over. I can see like a lot of carnage to be had here. Alright, cleaning up a bunch of units over here. So very nice, and we push forward. However, we're pushed forward into a Neo Tank. So that's going to be Very, very devastating to be dealing with, indeed. And this tank is actually in a pretty good position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do manage to take out this guy, this tank could potentially do a lot of damage. So we're going to see what happens. It looks like we got a fighter coming in from Rumbling. And a bunch of infantry and a tank. So not too bad of a turn. We still got to deal with the... we still have to deal with the stealth fighter. It is still alive, so I believe that's the reason for the fighter build for sure. And we just don't have a fighter anymore. So, in order to contend with stealth fighters, we gotta get fighters on the field. That is, like, priority number one, folks. Priority number one. Alright, this stealth fighter is running out of fuel. So we gotta get that back on the airport. I don't think it's actually going to make its way to the airport, though. I think we are going to run out of fuel unless we get an APC built this turn. It is definitely going to be gone. Alright, so we kind of just build a little tiny wall here. Don't really do too much else this turn. Push a few units forward. And we bring our fighter forward a little bit. So we're sitting at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could potentially hit it. Debatable whether we could or whether we should. Mostly because we got this guy right here. Very debatable indeed. Alright. So, cleanup squad initiated. Definitely stop this cap right here. We do not want user 101 to get any more funds. We are finally sitting at 24-24. Funds are dead even. Units are dead even. The value is not even. But Rumbling is holding in there against unsurmountable odds right now. The amount of abuse this player has taken this game from these stealth fighters, I have not witnessed this kind of abuse in a very long time. And we do got another urban blight causing further damage to those units. Further damage. It is amazing. Just amazing indeed. Oh yeah, we really needed to get that APC in order to keep that boy alive. Even a 1 HP stealth would still be very, very good as a blocker, because of essentially nothing would be able to take out that stealth, except for a fighter. So, very effective blocker indeed. We do get the APC over here, keeping the 6 HP boy alive, so that's not too bad. Not too bad indeed. It does look like Rumbling goes over, takes a shot at that fighter that is threatening the HQ, gets another Urban Blight. This is like the Urban Blight show, folks. Urban Blight show. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Crazy stuff. Alright, boom, big 90% damage from the city as well. One thing to note too is Kindle's firepower on cities during Urban Blight is equal to 180%, I believe. So very, very effective attacks. Very effective attacks. Alright, so we actually block our own airport in order to do an attack on this guy here, so not that bad of an idea. I definitely don't want this infantry to be getting over here. However, we got a lot of blue units right here, so I don't think that's really going to be a threat at the moment. However, it's just, yeah. It's like, at this point, I believe that Rumbling is just thinking, like, you know, that is my airport. Keep your hands off, okay? Just keep your hands off of my airport. That's his thought right now. Neo Tank pushing heavy and far into enemy territories right here, just out of range of the medium tank. Looking menacing, sitting on a road, not even worried about anything attacking. Interesting that we would go for the 7 HP boy instead of the 10 HP boy, though. Considering this would be a fairly big hit. So, questionable. However, I think maybe it was because we don't want to get hit from this property right here with the 140% boost. So, not necessarily the worst move. Definitely questionable. Now, did we stealth this? I'm not sure if we actually stealthed this guy in or not. It does not look stealthed to me. So we might have forgotten to stealth that. It does look like the fighter would be able to rush over here and take a nice shot at it, though, if it's not stealthed. So maybe it is, and I just don't see it. All right. Double medium tank. We got 2 classy medium tanks over here from Rumbling now. Another 1 classy medium tank over here from User. Bunch of infantry on the field still. We still got more tanks being pushed out. Both players have been pushed to the HQ and pushed back. Managed to repel both attacks, and now we are pretty much sitting at square one. Square one, folks. Day 27, and we are still dead even. This is one of the most evenly matched battles I've seen on this channel yet. And wow, that is a spooky move right now. Spooky move right now. We have a... Ooh. We have... we have an infantry primed and ready to attack the HQ, where we could potentially get that cap. Not sure. We're going to see what happens. Although, I have to say that this is probably not the best placement for this stealth fighter. Stealth fighter should have definitely went right here, I believe. Mainly due to the fact that we have an infantry right here. Infantry could easily occupy the space next to the HQ, leaving it open for any other unit to occupy it next turn to interrupt the cap. Now, if this unit was right here, would have been impossible. The only thing we have to contend with, on the other hand, would be this anti-air. Now, the anti-air could potentially shift over here, interrupt the cap as well. We're going to see if that happens or not, though. Ooh, very good placement. Very good placement. Ooh, I just wish we had occupied that space. Now, unfortunately, it does look like we have the fighter. The fighter could easily occupy the HQ right now. And as a matter of fact, that would probably be a very good idea. We do not occupy the HQ area, though. We actually managed to attack a battlecopter. Build another battlecopter. Very interesting. Okay. Units shifting over. Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, this is highly dangerous stuff right now. Highly dangerous stuff. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we got the HQ covered. Got the HQ covered from user 101. What is going to happen? Oh, no. The last thing you want to do if you're going to be pushing an HQ against your opponent as Kindle is build up Kindle's charge, because if they pop that urban blight on you, your HQ cap is not going to be working. Ooh, yeah, we are getting way too close. Way too close. It's going to be too easy for the opponent to get that urban blight. Yeah, we do... No, it's not going to be possible. We did too much damage. These attacks were definitely not necessary. We definitely should not have popped those. The urban blight was not even really necessary to pop. Defense bonus for sure, yes. But we're just way too close to HQ. Or way too close to urban blight power for that. It does look like we're going to easily get the urban blight and interrupt the cap. We're going to see if we actually manage to push through the line, though, because that's going to be very important to actually push through that line. But it does look like we got the artillery in position now. So it's going to be easily taken care of at this point. So not really too much that we can do about that now. We do quite a few hits here. We take this guy all the way down to 3. Now, potentially, we're going to be seeing another interrupt. It's going to be... That will happen because these battlecopters are in position to take out these guys. So, unfortunately, it does look like that HQ push is not going to be working. However, we do build up our forces in the back lines, and we are doing some very sneaky stuff at the exact same moment. We are trying to flip properties. So, not too bad at all. Alright, so HQ is taken care of. Unfortunately, we lost the Neo tank. It does look like our stealth fighter is once again uncovered. And we lost quite a few units in the fray. So yeah, we got lots of stuff over here, but it's mostly injured and it's out of position. So we are very, very much out of position. And I do not believe that there's going to be much going on with that. However, we do manage to flip the properties. Now we're sitting at 25 to 23 in user 101's favor. So that is very good. We are definitely staying ahead of the game there. And we have the airport blocked and the airport locked with a medium tank of all things. Medium tank has locked it, and it is not going anywhere. Now, I do believe this medium tank could potentially be taken out very, very easily by these battlecopters, so not a necessary lock. Most likely keeping these guys back a little bit would have been a smarter play. However, what's done is done, and there will be no taking back. Alright, day 31, folks, and this is still going on. Still going on at day 31. We do got big hits over here on these units, and that entire push over there has been taken out. So unfortunately, the airport lock plan did not go as planned, unfortunately. Now, it is super important when you're trying tactics like that to really, really, really think about it. Really, really look at the units that are surrounding the area and determine to yourself whether a move like that is worth it or not. Now, if you believe that those units will hold, totally worth it. Now, if you see cracks in the defense, you do not want to make a push like that, because all you're doing is just throwing your units away. Not something you want to be doing, especially when the game is this close. Now, user 101 has had an advantage for the vast majority of the game. And that gap is slowly being closed in on by the looks of it. Alright, so we got lots of shifts, more tanks being built. We have like units just all over the place here, causing havoc everywhere, forcing Rumbling to really, really spread out his units in order to stop these attacks. Now, if we actually get to the point where we get Rumbling down a lot on funds, you could potentially see more stealth fighters coming out, folks. The stealth fighters may be making a return. We do not know. But it looks like Rumbling is pushing pretty close to the enemy airport now. So we're putting pressure over here. We're going to be forcing Rumbling, or user 101, to actually build some units over here. Start defending this area. Either that, or we're just going to have to see a massive shift over here with all these units. These 3 units are not going to be able to contend with the massive amount of battlecopters and tanks that user 101 could potentially shift over to the western side. Now, we do got a clip on the APC that is gone. A few other units taken out. Interrupts the cap on this city. Unfortunately, this cap will not be successful at this point. Could potentially be successful if we decided to join these units. However, with this anti-air unit in position, the battlecopters are not going to be an effective blocker because of that. The one-shot potential is just way too great. Most likely, what a good tactic at this point would be to actually shift these guys over here, take out these 3 units, guarantee those kills, come back stronger with really, really heavy units. Because at the moment, it looks like user 101 is down to 15 units now. We have lost the lead that we had. Still have the income advantage. Alright, it looks like we're going to be giving Rumbling a choice at this moment. So it looks like he's saying, alright, man, it's either you attack this guy with this anti-air, or you give me the city. So he's giving him an option. He's giving him an ultimatum. No. Alright, the ultimatum is gone. Because that's unfortunate. Okay, so it was an ultimatum, but now that's a tough one. Alright, so okay, so if you're faced with a situation like this, where your opponent is capping 1 city and you have the choice between killing 3 battlecopters or interrupting a city, I probably just destroy the 3 battlecopters. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some people might disagree with me, but I'm going to destroy the 3 battlecopters. Because I don't think that income is super, super important when it comes to games. While there is a certain point where income is very, very important. Let's say, for instance, you're down like a certain amount of income on like a small map. You don't want that kind of stuff to be happening. But when you're dealing with like, 21, 22, 23, 24,000, income is not as important. As long as you can build the units that you need to counter your opponent's builds, perfectly fine. But it does look like he chose to interrupt it anyways. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we do stop that from being flipped, and we take out most of the battlecopters. We do leave this one alive, though. And it looks like user 101 is now sitting at 13 units with only 57,000 value, and it looks like rumbling 84,000 with 22 units. All right, so we continue on. We pop another urban blight from user 101. He is not giving up. He is going in. He is still trying to flip those properties. A little overextended over here for sure, but definitely given those options still. Pushing over on the western front, trying his best to do some damage against these units here. Building the battlecopters, building the medium tanks, double base skipping, getting those heavy units out there. Wow, let's go. Let's see what happens with those double heavy units here. All right, so rumbling continues to push up, and we just have a nice solid line here. The anti-air pushes up to take out an infantry completely out of position. Free kill there, unfortunately. And it looks like we get an additional free kill here and one here as well. And we block the city. Gonna get some heals over there. And we triple hit this battlecopter and make sure that one is taken out as well. User 101 now sitting at 10 units. However, the value of those units is actually more than what Rumbling has on the field now. Now, mind you, after the builds, the value is going to be going up. But right before that, it looked like we had more. So, very interesting here. We do have a lot of heavy units. We have absolutely no infantry in this area, though. Alright, Rumbling, or User 101 coming in, taking out those shots, taking those units. And we are looking pretty good over here once again. It does look like we are going to be able to at least get one solid hit, maybe two. One solid hit with this tank here. Betman has put that on the HQ for sure. The HQ is going to get you the most bang for your buck at this point. So we'll see if that happens or not. We're continuing the assault. The Neo tank, freshly purchased Neo tank, pushing all the way in here. So we have a very, very effective line of our anti-air right by this this airport. You know, I don't think we're going to be seeing any stealth fighters be coming out of there. And we get the urban blight. Another Neo tank gets sapped by the blight, folks. You hate to see it. The Neo tanks are definitely on the chopping block for this one. All right, we got another medium tank coming in here. It looks like we are building the heavy units on the weak side from user 101, desperately trying to keep up with that unit count at the moment. 11 units spread across the field is not a large amount of units for sure. You're spread out thin, so every single unit that you have needs to have a purpose. That is for sure. And it looks like we are going to be starting to flip some properties over here too. It looks like we got a 5 over here, so that's a 4-day flip, and we have a 3-day flip over here. Making it so your opponent has to interrupt those too. You can't be letting them just sit there, which is also going to leave one of your units open to a city hit, which is not what you want to happen. And it's also sitting at day 36, and we still have a neutral property on the field, folks. Yes, indeed. You see it right there. The neutral property still sitting there, still looking great. Nobody has claimed that property yet. And yes, that is the way she goes, folks. That is the way she goes. Day 37, and we got nothing but heavy units on the field. We got medium tanks, Neo tanks, tanks everywhere, folks. And thanks for watching. Wow. All right. Bomb. Anti-air taken out. Neo tank first shotting another Neo tank. Big big damage right there. We got 60%. That is a 4-8 trade. That is what you want to see. And we got a base lock with the airport. Oh my lord, what is going on here? And we have 38 fuel on that bad boy, so that is not going anywhere. That is locked and loaded, ready to go. We got APCs coming in. We got a lock on the airport right now, and we got the units pushing in. But getting a flip over here on this property as well, that is gonna that will actually tip the income scale back in Rumbling's favor by a whole 1,000. We got more Neo tanks on the field. This has become just a massive battle of Neo tanks and medium tanks and stealth fighters, and wow, just a crazy amount of fighting. And we got Rumbling sitting over here at 141,000 right now, 28 units to user 101's 11 to 79.8, but he is not giving up. He is determined. He is popping those urban blights, getting the damage in. Now, what you have to get this property back. You need that back. You might be able to get that property back if you do a double hit with your medium tank and your tank. It is possible, but we gotta see if he's gonna do it or not. Like, we gotta get that shot, man. We gotta get that property back. You can't just be sitting letting it sit there. This guy will be able to move back and definitely dislodge it for sure. But I don't know. I think we had to get a little bit sooner. I'm not sure. We need the unit count, man. Need the unit count. Oh, and we are in a prime position to actually capture that airport too, so that's going to be even deadlier. Even deadlier for sure. Oh, I see a nasty move here too. Alright, this could be like terribly, terribly powerful. So if we actually get a refuel on this guy with the APC, we would be able to switch spots. We could actually move this guy over here. We can move this guy right here, cap this property. Then we can actually block the anti-air with another battlecopter potentially. So, ooh, I don't know. And then we could just start battlecopter spam, take out the rest of them there. It's potential. It could happen. We don't know. Anything is possible in this game, man. It is just getting out of control. We have units everywhere. 28 units from Rumbling just out there causing damage. Wow, massive hit over here from user 101 to the enemy medium tank. That is heavy, heavy damage for sure. That is what you like to see, folks. Now, I think potentially that switch of units would be a very, very good move to do right now. Now, we would lose a 4 HP battlecopter in the process of it. However, we would actually guarantee the capture of this airport for sure. No, now we got a medium tank right here, so the airport is not guaranteed at this point. Not guaranteed at all. Ooh, big old hit. Now, that is a tank that's got some bazoozos. I will say that much. Alright. Okay, it looks like we're going in. We are going to be guaranteeing that we are getting that airport. We're not letting the airport go. That's what the plan is. So putting the opponent in a position where he can only attack one unit. Alright, very, very smart. Very smart. I see what's going on here. So, very, very good stuff. I believe that maybe Rumbling actually might have thought about that move a little bit more than I did for sure. Alright. So we are still at a massive, massive lead when it comes to units. However, the unit value is not that different right now. You're actually sitting at a very even unit value. Now, user 101 has managed to actually do quite a bit of damage back and pretty much leveled the value field. Actually increasing the value field at this point. Yeah, we definitely need to get the anti-airs out, that's for sure. We get an anti-air out here. The sheer number of medium tanks on the field right now from user 101 is just amazing. That is what you want to see. I love to see it. I mean, you all know how much I love the medium tanks in this one, so user 101 is making me proud. That is for sure. Rumbling now sitting at 27,000 funds, though. 27,000 funds. That is a hefty amount. That is almost the amount that you need to buy the coveted mega tank. Are we going to see any mega tanks coming out here pretty soon? I have no idea. Probably not, but that's also another unit that I'd love to see. Now, this is like very interesting too, because we can actually move the infantry right up here and start bomber spamming. Now, a bomber spam, wow, that could be very effective. I have no idea what would happen with a bomber spam, but unfortunately, it does look like we have more anti-air coming over here for Mr. Rumbling. Very fortunate for user 101, though. Considering that our value is just massive right now. 119,000 with only 12 units. Those are some big boys with big value. Now, unfortunately, if we lose those units, we're going to start seeing that value drop very quickly. And we have a stealth. Oh my lordy poos. Oh, as the tables have turned over here, folks. We now control both of the airports, and we have stealths coming out on day 41 from Rumbling. Wow. That's something right there, folks. That is something. Are we going to see some sweet revenge over here for the stealth fighter harassment from earlier? I have no idea, but we're going to see what these stealths do. One stealth is going to get hit by an urban blight, so that's what's going to happen first. So, I mean, there's not really too much you can do about that. It's going to get hit, so it is what it is. But we are pushing up. We got some movements going on here. And we are just going to be building some tanks. I mean, the second that stealth, yeah, right there. Stealth has stealth, and it is now just haunting. That is a haunting boy right there. It is just not going to be good. Not going to be good for our friend user 101, unfortunately. That stealth is going to be able to cause massive damage and just uncontested because of the sheer defense. Now, it does have to contend with quite a few heavy units, so it's not going to be able to do like tons and tons of damage. It is going to be the only stealth on the field too. We're not going to be seeing any more stealths. It's just going to be that one. He's got too many anti-air and too many medium tanks in position, so we'll see what he manages to do, though. I mean, Rumbling isn't going to be able to do anything against all these medium tanks either. Because as soon as these medium tanks start pushing forward, I mean, a wall of infantry is not going to be doing anything. We do got another stealth over here, though. So we got a stealth on each side. And that's where the damage is going to be coming from. It looks like we got two stealths. And we just have units pushing. So the only thing that we can really do at this point to contend with these stealths is we have to... Well, one, we have to cap one of the airports, or we just completely ignore them and we just rush the HQ as fast as we possibly can. Now, obviously, we're going to need infantry for that. We built 2 infantry over here from user 101, still sitting at 14 units with 119,000, rumbling at 109 now with 15. So the field has definitely been leveled, that is for sure. But it's like, what are we going to do from here? What are we going to do from here, indeed? Alright, we block in that stealth, so it's not going anywhere. But that's also not a really bad spot for that stealth to be. We're going to be able to just sit pretty on the airport and just attack things around us. So we're gonna get the damage, so that's not a problem. And we're going to have the 140% firepower bonus from it too. So, yeah, you know, that's not really that bad. Not that bad at all. Like, we're going to be able to do the damage. We got more Neo tanks coming. And it looks like user is pushed back almost all the way to his bases now. So are we going to be seeing the end of this game pretty soon? We are sitting at day 45. So this has been a very long game. Neither of these players wanting to give up. But neither player was really in a position where they were officially going to lose either. So I can't really fault this one for being so long, folks. Can't really fault them indeed. Alright, we do get another shot here from the stealth. More Neo tanks on the field over there from user 101. We got an Urban Blight ready to go. Urban Blight is now going to be costing 81,000 battle damage from each player. So we can see just how long and brutal this one has been. What a match. What a match. Alright, we got a bomber coming in from Rumbling too. We got a nice little line of units here. We could get hit by a medium tank by the looks of it here. Can't be double hit though, so not too bad right there. We got the urban blight over here. Wow, we get some nice damage over there. Well, so we do get the strike on the Neo tanks. Not too bad. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea for sure. Definitely do take that. And I don't think that Rumbling intends on moving the stealth fighter off of off of the airport. I think he's just locking it with the stealth fighter. He's not moving it. Very smart idea for sure. All right, we get another urban blight. Oh, and we managed to base lock it with the stealth fighter. That is not going anywhere. Looks like we have somewhat destroyed the line here. We have a single medium tank with 9 fuel left. He has been around for a while, and he is not planning on going very far. Not planning on going very far indeed. Alright, we do see user 101's Neo tank still going up, still doing damage, trying their best. Now, the one thing, though, is like if we don't get on APC to the front line up here very, very soon, that stealth is not going to be able to last. We're going to have to swap it out with a medium tank or the bomber or something, because that is not going to be lasting very long. We're sitting at day 48, folks. Day 48. This stealth is still doing damage to things around it. These guys are pushed up to the corner. Not too much is going on here. This guy is just sitting at 9 fuel. 9 fuel. He's only got 2 days of movement right now, so he's not going to be able to go far. Yeah, so we swap it out for the medium tank. Very nice. That's what you want to see. Bomber going back for a repair. Bomber is definitely intending on taking out this Neo tank. That's definitely what the plan is here. Bombers are an incredible counter to Neo tanks, by the way. They are the one thing that it can't really contend with. Alright, more Neo tanks, more medium tanks. Oh my god, I just love this game. There's just so many crazy units. There's so many heavy units. Now, Celeste, yeah, you never really see games on Celeste lasting like a super long time. But when you got 2 players that are very evenly matched, and you got stealth fighters involved, it's like things just kind of get out of hand. Things kind of get out of hand for sure. Alright, we got a double swap, or double property swap right here, potentially going. That would put Rumbling at 28 and 29 triple, actually, if that is successful. We shall see if she is successful, however. Oh, we got the urban blight, so we do get the interrupt. We get the we get the base back from the medium tank. The medium tank was not able to hold very long. Unfortunately, Neo tank is just far more powerful and far superior to a medium tank in almost every single way, except for how classy it is. That is the only thing. The only thing the medium tank's got going for it is far more classy than the Neo tank. That is for sure. Alright, bomber coming into the middle. Looks like we are going to be sandwiching these guys over here. So potential sandwich, pincer strike movements going on here. Okay, so we're sitting at day 50. Half of 100, folks, and we are still here. Wow. 2 stealths are still on the field. We have a bomber, we have 2 Neo tanks, and wow. It's just like, how is this one gonna end? You know? How is it gonna end? Because we got Rumbling here, looking like most likely in the prime position to win. But user 101 just does not want to give it up. Does not want to give it up. But the only way that he can win is by taking that HQ. And I just do not know if it's going to be possible. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Because, like, we can urban blight, we can push up, and we can struggle as much as we want. But at the end of the day, when you're dealing with 2 stealths and you have no counter, I just don't know what you can do. Just do not know what you can do indeed, folks. But I'm glad that one mech got built this entire game. One mech, that's what I'm talking about. Looks like Rumbling has actually left the airport right here too. So very, very interesting move right there. Like, why would we actually leave that? Because that actually allows us to just continue to dominate the map. Oh, we put it right back though. It was just a bait and switch. Just the old bait and switch. Now we have 3 stealths on the map. So 3 stealths on the map, more urban blights. Another Neo tank is hit by the blight, folks. Another Neo tank just getting that damage done to it. Getting that damage done to it. There's not much else you can do. Now, unfortunately, there's just not much you can do now. There's just stealth everywhere. And when you don't have a counter to a stealth, folks, there's just no hope. Unfortunately, there's just no hope when you don't have a counter to stealth. But holy macaroni and cheese, folks, that was a massively entertaining, brutal game. Very brutal to watch. Not necessarily brutal to watch, but like, oh my god, what a match. We can go ahead and take a look at the stats here. Holy macaroni and cheese. We have 14 co-powers used. We have over 1 million funds generated on either side. And we have 161 units built from user 101 and 163 units built from Rumbling CDSX. Wow. So bask in the glory of that KD right there, folks, because this is not one that you'll be seeing again for a very long time. But that just goes to show that stealths are BS. But no, very, very, very big congratulations to Rumble and CDS for winning that one, especially having to contend with the stealths at the beginning of the map. Now, that puts you at a very, very big disadvantage at the beginning, especially not having a counter to the stealths. But you played excellent, you played slow, you played smart, and you managed to overcome, for sure. And user 101, the stealths at the beginning, crazy plan. Crazy plan. It's just unfortunately losing them a little bit too early was just didn't work out in your favor, and that's about it. But you played fantastic for the most part here, so you know what? Congratulations to you too. Alright, so if you like the match and you like the content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. It definitely helps boost engagement on the channel and gets these videos a lot farther so more and more people can enjoy. And if you have a replay that you might be interested in having featured on the channel, you can always submit it to me on Advanced Wars by Web. My name is Mr. Cannon. That is MR_CANNON. You can submit me a replay on Advanced Wars by Web. Just send me a message, send me a link, tell me a little bit about the match, and you might be featured on the channel. So hopefully I'll see you there. And also, if you want me to add you on Reboot Camp, you can go ahead and put your switch code in the comments below, and I will add you up, and we might be able to play some matches together. So I will leave a link in the description below where you can actually join Advanced Wars by Web today and play against people around the world, as well as the Advanced Wars by Web Discord, which is the official Discord for Advanced Wars by Web. And I will also leave a link in the description below with my personal Discord if you want to join that. Come say hi. We chat and play Advanced Wars there as well. So hopefully I'll see you somewhere. And if I don't, take care of yourselves, build some classy medium tanks, and have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.